Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the Wisdom for Humanity podcast series. On this podcast, we're going to be helping you to go from your present state to your desired state through wisdom, knowledge, and real life experiences. Now, in this episode, we're going to be talking about having a plan B. And the reason why we're going to be talking about having a plan B is because I think they suck. Right, I think having a plan B sucks, and I know for a fact that a lot of us are taught to have a plan B through school and by our beautiful loving parents, sometimes through naivety, sometimes through love and care, and it's now important to make sure that we understand the connotations of having a plan B and what that does to your dreams, your soul, and your spirit. Alright, so a plan B, what is it? Right, what is a plan B? A plan B, in my opinion, is spiritual death. Right, it is spiritual suicide. And the reason why I say that is because when you have a plan B, what that means is that you give 50% to your actual dreams, goals, and ambitions. Alright, you give 50% to your dreams because guess what? You don't have the courage and the knowledge, wisdom, and information in order to make your plan A, which is your dreams and your true goals, making that into a reality. So it's important that we understand that if you do want to live half a life, then have a plan B. But if you want to live a fulfilled life where you live on your terms, you live in beauty, glory, and love at the maximum of your potential, then this is why you're in this place, because you're going to be going for your plan A and you're not going to have a plan B. Alright, so in my opinion, a plan B can also be a contingency plan, right? So it can be a plan in case things fail. Now, it is important to have a plan in place when going for your plan A, but you have to understand that those plans are still on course for plan A. They aren't plan B, right? They are things that you put in place just in case certain things on the journey to your desired dream and goal don't quite work out. So for instance, for myself, if this podcast doesn't get the traction it gets, then I've still got Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. So if this podcast doesn't reach hundreds of millions of people, I've still got other platforms that I can go on. I've still got real life, I've still got speaking on stage, I've still got clients, I've still got courses. I've got plenty of stuff that will still back up and support my plan A. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to go and, work as a chef or go and work as a network marketer. And the reason being why is because that's not my plan A. That isn't my plan A, and that's totally fine. For someone who wants to be a network marketer and they want to do that for their plan A, that is amazing, and you go ahead and you do that and you pursue that until you've made it happen. But I'm talking specifically for those of you out there that literally want to push everything you've got into being who you are. And if that's the case, then don't accept a plan B. When I was in school and in college specifically, I wanted to be a bodybuilder. So a little story time for you guys here. I wanted to be a bodybuilder, and I wanted to be the best bodybuilder in the world. I wanted to be on Mr. Olympia. I wanted to be the greatest bodybuilder of all time because I had that passion. Right? That passion was what consumed me at the time. And the people who I had as mentors, the people who I had as teachers, they turned around to me and they said, "Oh, okay." There basically was the basic way that they did it was like, that's cute, James. And that's a little cute dream you've got going on. But what if it doesn't work out? Right? What if it doesn't happen? What if you never get to that goal? What if you never get to that dream? What if you never reach that idea of your desired life? And turned around to them and said, I don't have a plan B. It's all or nothing. 100%. I'll do this or I'll die. Right? And I'll be honest with you guys, I was that abrupt. I was that abrupt when it came to it. Why? Because I had passion. Because I understood the truth. I understood what it meant to reach a specific goal in life and what it took to get there. And they looked at me funny. They looked at me like I was an idiot, like I was stupid. And again, that's totally fine. Like, I get it. Right? I get it. That's what happens when you've got somebody with a closed mind who tries to tell somebody with an open mind what it is that they should do. And this isn't arrogant, this isn't aggressive, this isn't a super look at me alpha mentality. This is so that every single one of you watching right now can understand that those people that are telling you to have a plan B, those people that are telling you to be realistic, those people that are telling you how to live your life are the kind of people that you want to avoid. Because in this life, you only have a set amount of time, and what you do with that time is down to you, and it's important to you, and you should make the choices as to where you get to. Right? If you end up failing and losing anything, that's fine. It was your choice. I've failed and lost everything twice. And you know what? I'm happy for it. I'm grateful for it because I made my own decisions. Because I was in control of my life and I dictated what happened to my life and nobody else. And this is what you have to understand, is that you are in control. It comes back to the same thing over and over again. You are in control. And when my teachers told me and said to me that, you should have a plan B, and they looked at me funny, they never realised the truth. Even though I didn't become Mr. Olympia, even though I didn't become the greatest bodybuilder of all time, I still ended up pursuing and reaching a point in my life where I got myself to where I want to be, because I took total control. I wasn't going to have somebody tell me what I should and should not do with my life. Have a plan B? No. No way. You got to be joking, haven't you? Have a plan B? Are you joking? That was my thought process at the time, and guess what? It led me to this moment right now. It led me to this point in life where I'm on the brink of becoming a viral sensation. Again, don't see this as arrogance, guys. This isn't supposed to be arrogance. This is supposed to show you that when it comes to this stuff, it's mightily important. It's monstrously important. And when we get to the point in life where we realise that some of these people who were our authority figures, right? They're our teachers, they were our loved ones, our cared ones, our parents, our mentors, our guardians. What we've got to understand is that sometimes they don't have all the answers. Even me. Right? Some of you might start to take me as an authority figure. Much appreciated for that, guys, because will do my best. But I won't have all the answers. And I'll openly tell you when I don't have them. You see, the difference is that if you tell me you want to do a plan A, I'd never tell you should go for a plan B. If you want to do a plan A, let's make it happen. Let's make it work. Right? And this is what I do with my clients. There is no retreat. There is no failure, because we always learn from failure, and if we retreat, we're going to be dead anyway. Right? Because that's the end of your life. The only time you ever retreat in this life, and this isn't saying this is a dictation, it's just the truth. The only time we ever retreat is when we leave the world. Because even if you retreat from your goals and dreams, you've still got life to deal with. Right? You've still got life in front of you, so why not pursue your goals and dreams? It's always going to be hard if you make it hard. Right? If you make life hard, it's always going to be hard. So what you've got to do is you've got to find that balance. Right? You've got to find what works for you. And in finding what works for you, you find a massive amount of peace in your life. And this is super important. So the next thing we're talking about is what having a plan B will actually do to you. You know, when it comes to a plan B, I've never understood it. I'll be honest with you guys, I have never ever understood having a plan B, because it's an acceptance. Right? You are accepting that you are less than what you know you are. Why? Because you had a plan A in the first place. Right? The reason why I know that you are accepting half of what you are if you have a plan B is because you realised in the beginning that you were capable, or you had the dream or the thought of getting the plan A, and then you accepted less than what you truly deserve. And that, to me, is criminal. So if you've been you've been an angel all your life, you've never done anything, then I'm telling you right now, you're breaking the universal laws, because you are taking criminal action against you and who you are. And this is it. We have to understand that in these times, in these moments of processing this information and getting through this and understanding how it applies to your life, if you're sat down and you're fed up and you're miserable, that means that you're only achieving 50% of your entire potential. How do I know that? Because I'm achieving 100% in mine, and I am absolutely content and happy on levels I can't even describe to you. And it's really important that we understand this, because every single one of us, I don't care who you are, what you're doing, or where you're from, every single one of us has the potential of reaching the heights of this world. And the only thing that's stopping you is you. It ain't your parents, it ain't your teachers, it's not your brothers and your sisters and your boyfriend and your husband and girlfriend, wife. It's you. Because nothing stopped me. I didn't let my teachers, I didn't let my bullies, I didn't let my so-called friends stop me from reaching where I was supposed to go. And do you know what's really funny? Most of those people that were watching me are still lurking in the background. Right? Some of them have blocked me off social media, but I see them lurking. Okay, and some of you guys are going to see them lurking as well. You're going to see them there. You're going to see that they're in your face and they're trying to watch what you're doing, but from the shadows. And that's fine, because you know what that tells you? That tells you that you're still on your plan A, because you've not accepted anything less. Because if you were on your plan B, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care what you're doing. And again, this might sound super malicious. You might think to yourself, this is a very hyper-aggressive episode, but it's just the masculine. Right? And we've all got the masculine and feminine inside of us. And if you're a woman watching this, then have this. If you're a man watching this, then step up. Right? If you're a man or woman, step up to the podium. Right? Step up to your own success, because you can attain it. And it's only down to you. There's so many people that are living their lives, going around, working in a job that they hate, a job that they know is not for them, instead of pursuing what matters to them. Instead of pursuing what makes their heart sing, what makes their soul start to dance in their life. And the next thing we look at is, what do you need for your plan A? I'm going to tell you exactly what you need for your plan A. You need persistence, you need belief, you need love, and you need passion. Now, some of you might have heard that love one in there and think to yourself, what do you mean I need love, James? I'm a man. I'm an alpha woman. I don't need love in my life. If you are to get anywhere, you need to love yourself, you need to love the journey, and you need to love the people around you. Because if you get all three of those right, you will make anything a success. How do I know that? Because this is life. Right? The people who are around us are the only people who get us to the heights of the world. Even if you're working in a corporate job. If you're working in a corporate job, you'll have co-workers, you'll have managers, you'll have bosses, you'll have people who are up and down and around you and all over the place. And if you can't get on with them, and if you can't love them for who they are, you're never going to make it. And then again, see, some of you might think, well, James, you've already told me to bin off all these people. Absolutely. Doesn't mean you've got to hate them, though. Right? Even if you've got people who are telling you otherwise, you love them because you are on a higher level. If there is anybody making you feel less about who you are, or anybody out there who is doubting you or telling you to go for a plan B, they're not even awoke yet. They haven't even awoke yet. Right? They haven't awakened from the sleep that they've been in their entire lives. Why? Because if they were awake and they did see the world for what it truly is, they'd be telling you to go for your plan A, and you know what? They'd help you do it as well. And these are all super intense realizations, guys, and these are things that we have to understand in this world, because if we don't understand it, we end up living a life that's half of what we can truly live. We end up missing the important stuff. We end up going through life and pretending that we know what's going on and pretending that we see what's happening. Right? I might only be 24 years old, but you know what? I have lived multiple lifetimes. And in knowing that, I can tell you from the bottom of my heart that this is the truth. If you want to attain, if you want to achieve, if you want to get to somewhere in your life that makes you feel happy and content and in love with yourself, then you've got to fight. You've got to push. You've got to go for it. Because if you don't, you will leave this world filled with infinite regret. And that, to me, is just the worst thing in this world. Which comes to my next point, which is life is too short. Right? Life is too short. That's a sentence that's been thrown around a lot, right? Is life too short? Maybe it's not. Maybe life is just what it's supposed to be. Maybe life is exactly the length of time that you were supposed to have while you're here. Life is too short? Perhaps not. Maybe life is just precious. Right? Maybe life is a gift. Maybe life is something that we should love beyond all things. Because you know what? You're here. You can make the choices. You can make the decisions. You can pursue what it is that you want to do, because that's your given right. Right? That is your absolute given right. And if you don't push that, and if you don't live with that with full potential, it feels bad. It feels bad for you. Because guess what? The end of a plan B is misery. So if you think that you're playing it safe, if you think that you're following the rules, if you think that you're stopping yourself from feeling all that misery and suffering, let me tell you, you're just amplifying it. Right? You're delaying it. It's like taking painkillers. Right? When you take painkillers, literally, you're just masking the pain. You're just masking the problem, Right? You're masking the problem, and that's the same thing you're doing with having a plan B. You are masking your true potential, and you're just masking the pain and getting it ready to come out in the future. Right? Because you're going to come back 25 years later, 30 years later, you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to wish, all right, you're going to wish that you pursued your dreams, your goals and ideas and ambitions. Because this is the problem with having a plan B. Right? Having a plan B is just a delayed gratification. It's fear. Having a plan B is fear in your life. And if you fear your life, you're doing life wrong. If you look at all the greatly successful actors and influencers, film stars, music stars, TV personalities, politicians, all these people, if you look at the most successful people, businessmen and women, if you look at the most successful people, they've all had failures. Right? They've all failed. And here's an absolute realization for you. None of them had a plan B. Why? Because they never believed in that. Because one thing they did believe in was themselves. They believed in themselves, they believed in what they could do, what their potential was, and where they were going to go. And that, to me, is evidence of the most important aspects of reaching a certain place. Right? If you don't understand this concept, if you don't understand what I'm talking about right now, and you don't understand that the people who are successful don't need a plan B, then you're selling yourself short. Because whoever you are, whatever you look like, whatever your voice is like, whatever your family or your circumstance or your experiences have been, you're still capable of doing anything you want to do. Why? Because you've got choices. You should tattoo that on your body, guys. You hear me say it often enough. The reason why is because you can make choices. Choices. and purpose are the two most important driving points of getting you to where you want to be. If you don't make any choices and you sit back and you're wallowing in fear and you're wallowing in misery and you wish that you could get it given to you on a silver platter and you wish that you had a rich family and you'd won the lottery and that you could do it when you've done this or when you've done that or when the time is right, then you will forever live in misery. Because even if you have a beautiful family, even if you see the world as gorgeous as it was, you still wouldn't have pursued what you really wanted. And you would have lived a life knowing that you could have done it. And let me tell you something, guys. You all know this, right? You all know you can do it. Deep down, every single person listening to this podcast episode right now, deep down, you know you can do it. But you're selling yourself short. You're stopping yourself from being the person you were supposed to be. And that, to me, is just criminal. I'll say it again. That to me is criminal. Right? You need to pursue what you want. You need to pursue your life with everything you've got. Because this is it. You know, even if we believe in reincarnation, even if we believe in heaven or hell, right? This is it. This is your stage. Even if you come back after you're dead, you know, it doesn't matter. This is your stage right now. Because you ain't going to remember it when you come back. At least not all of you. Right? You ain't going to remember it when you come back into this world. When you recycle yourself. When you become a new personality. So you've got to make the most of your personality right now, and you've got to learn what you're supposed to learn on this planet. I want to finish on one final thing, guys. You are going to see me reach the heights of this world right now. And even if you're watching this podcast when it's first come out, if you're watching these episodes when they first come out, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. And some of you know this. Right? Some of you beautiful people who message me, you see the potential, you see where I'm going, you see the drive. Okay? I want you to adopt the same thing. Because there is nothing that separates me from you. And when you understand that, when you realise that in your heart and your soul, if I was to come up to you and say into your face that you are worthless and you are scum and you will never be as good as me, I would expect you to slap me around the face and tell me you don't know a thing. Not that I would ever say that to you guys. Full disclaimer, I would never ever say that to you guys. But even if I was somebody like that, who went and said that, I would expect you to slap me around the face and put some sense into me. Because the truth is, you can do whatever you want to do. And when you learn that, again, broken record, when you learn that, oh man, the whole world becomes your oyster. The whole world becomes a playground, and it's just something that you create. It's like taking a mass of clay and just building your life literally inside of your mind. It's beautiful, it's incredible, and it's something you should do forever until you make it. So listen, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. Share it with a friend or family. I'd massively appreciate that. And follow me on Facebook. Okay, the reason why I tell you to follow me on Facebook is because I do have a few viral videos on there, and we are pushing some videos to go viral. So if you do enjoy this content, no doubt you'll enjoy the content on my Facebook page. So listen, guys, always pursue your first plan. Always pursue your passion. Always pursue what is important to you. Because that, to me, is living. Right, that's to me is living, that to me is existing. And when you realise that, you'll make it. Right, you'll make it and you'll realise your own power. So listen, guys, take care of yourselves. This has been James Malins, the Wisdom Guide. Just remember that your life can change in a split moment. So I love every single one of you. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.